Okay, so Andre Ward has just called out Anthony Joshua and said on social media that an Anthony Joshua fight would be a fight that Andre Ward would be willing to come out of retirement for. Now, I'm seeing a lot of people online sort of entertaining this as even a potential fight for Anthony Joshua, and honestly, I really don't see it, because you've got Andre Ward, who, yes, in his defence, was an undefeated two-weight world champion, right? And at a time was definitely the best in the world at super middleweight and was the best for a long time at light heavyweight too, right? But Andre Ward is a guy who's been retired for quite some time. To be fair, he did retire quite young and he wasn't in loads of wars, so probably hasn't got a million miles on the clock, but he's a lot smaller than Anthony Joshua. You know, Anthony Joshua is a big heavyweight. He's not just a normal sized heavyweight. He's a big heavyweight. He's all of, 6'6", Anthony Joshua is, and he's, what is he coming to fight at? 230, 240, right? And Andre Ward, a guy who's never fought above 175. It's such a huge, difference in weight. Of course, to be fair, you have got the fact that Andre Ward is he's a fundamentally sound boxer. He is quite elusive. He'll prove very hard to hit, if he was to fight Anthony Joshua, which I don't think this fight is going to happen. But Andre Ward, at worst, would definitely prove hard to hit. But Anthony Joshua is so much bigger than him, he'd only need to land one punch. And Anthony Joshua, even at this point, is good enough to land a punch on Andre Ward. He's not that shot to bits. Guys like Ortiz and Daniel Dubois stopped Anthony Joshua, but those guys are, in terms of punching power, in a different stratosphere as Andre Ward. You can't even put those two in the same sort of sentence. And then you've got the Usyk losses, where Usyk did outbox him, but it was physical as well. Anthony Joshua couldn't just bully Usyk, because Usyk has still got, Usyk's still 225. He's not a small man, right? And if Andre Ward was to fight at 225, he wouldn't be the same. He doesn't have the same frame as an Usyk, an Usyk was a cruiserweight going up to heavyweight, who got bigger. Andre Ward would be a light heavyweight going up to heavyweight, who's been retired for 2 years. Not 2 years. A lot longer than 2 years, sorry. I think he's retired, when was that last Kovalev fight? I want to say 6, 7, 8 years ago, maybe? 7, 8 years ago. So, Andre Ward is a world-class boxer. Well, was a world-class boxer. Is a legend of the sport, 100%. No one can dispute that, in my opinion. Because of the wins he's got at super middleweight, the wins he's got at light heavyweight. It's sort of indisputable, the fact that he's one of the legends of the sport, right? And Anthony Joshua may be past his prime, but Anthony Joshua is still closer to his prime than Andre Ward is. And like I said before, Andre Ward is not a heavyweight. This fight will not happen. I don't believe it would. Anthony Joshua's been linked to some crazy names right now. Jake Paul, Andre Ward. It's all a bit crazy right now for Anthony Joshua. So we'll see what's next for him. I don't think this fight's going to happen, but I'd be curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. I think Anthony Joshua would probably get him out of there in under 3 or 4 rounds. And that's Anthony Joshua being generous. Because Anthony Joshua could go out there and probably steamroll Andre Ward in 1 or 2 rounds if he wanted to, if that fight was to get made. But yeah, be curious to know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know. And do you think this fight could get made? And if this fight is made, do you think there's a world where Andre Ward could beat Anthony Joshua? I'd be curious to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, another episode of the Seth Solo Side Quest in the bag, and I'm out. Peace.